Hi everyone, this is Stephanie. I wanted to show you guys how I created my bracelet with the needle and thread and the little saying, I can and I will. The first thing you want to do is to get your Curio connected. This will give you the options of the mat for the Curio, as you can see here. And let's begin. Okay. One of the first things that I do is I go to the left side and select the rectangle with the rounded edges. Just make sure to draw anything at this point, and we're gonna put the sizes. Go ahead and measure what you have. There's 3 different sizes that they sell at Joann's Fabric, and the one that I showed you guys is 6 in width, which is the regular size for most of them. The height is what changes, and in this case is a 0.38. Okay, let's go ahead and move it to the center. One of the things that you can do, you can go ahead and change this to round it to however it seems. There's really no exact way to measure this. Just make sure that you have enough space here in the middle to press down your bracelet blank, the metal blank that you purchased. And I'll go ahead and put a picture of that in the comment boxes. Okay, and then once you do that, you select the picture that you want on there. So I went to Google and I searched for, I searched for needle and thread vector. I really like this one. Honestly, I don't know where I left the image for the other one that I used, but I'll show you guys how to select it. So you go to right click on your mouse and then you copy image, and you're going to go to right click again and we're going to paste. Once you paste on here, I'm going to move to the side. Once you paste, you're going to select the trace. It's this little butterfly here. Definitely one of my favorite icons to use. And go ahead and highlight your image. What I do is I just play around with the threshold until I find it where I really like it. And I also move the scale back. I feel that it gives it like a smoother edges. And finally, trace. Go ahead and move the image out. Just delete it or move it out of the way, however you like. We're gonna go ahead and size it down. I'm gonna move it horizontal and just fill it out with black. I like to remove the edge red that comes out automatically. So go ahead and move it down until it fits. If you guys are doing this with a different picture or a different theme, that's really up to you. So I like the size where that is, and we'll move it around, we'll center it. Okay. The next thing I want to do, I just want to go ahead and put the saying. In this case is I can, and copy paste, double click, control all, and not money, I will. Okay. Once you do that, in this case, I know that the height of this is 0.38, so I'm going to go over here to the transform icon, select the scale size, and on this one I'm going to close the little lock right there. So the height, I'm going to put 0.38. Actually, since that is going to be exact, I'm going to go down to 0.32. And do the same for this one. Make sure it's locked and put 0.32. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and highlight both of them and make them black, and also remove the outer. That's just preference for me. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna align it to the middle, and let's move them up here. Now the font that I am using for this one is the, I know it starts with Marianne. I think I got this one from thefont.com. Okay, go ahead and move them to kind of where you want them on there. Go ahead and let's highlight just the words and the little picture by selecting the shift button. And let's see, so that's gonna give you highlight all of them except the shape of the bracelet. And go back to here to the transform. We're gonna make sure that it's aligned in the middle. So they should all be aligned in the middle, and the next thing is spacing them horizontally. That will give you the perfect space between the words and the little icon that you selected. And the next thing I do is go ahead and group it. And now we're gonna highlight everything and select right here, or you can go up to here, and we're going to center it. We're not going to select this one because that one will center it to the page. This is going to center both of this stuff just, you know, without moving it around the page. Okay, that's how I created this. That's how I designed this. I saw this on Pinterest and I just loved it. One of the things that I do want to point out, and I would have made the mistake, is that if you leave this like that, when you fold it, when you make it into a bracelet, the eye can should be on your left, and then the end I will should be on your right once it's folded. In this case, if you fold it like this, like I have it right now, it's gonna say and I will, and then on the other side it's gonna say I can. So make sure that we put it on the right side, because right now it reads perfectly, but once you fold it or bent it, I'm sorry, it's not going to. So go ahead and select the shift button again and select all of them. We're gonna vertically align them and space them out. Let's group them together. Okay, while I have them grouped like this together and selected, I'm gonna go ahead and select this little star down here. I have the designer edition. I don't know if this one comes with the regular, free edition, but I know for this that you do require the Curio. So go ahead and select that. I pass it through the machine 3 times. The first thing I do is, because we're gonna be debossing, the first thing I do is select the lines and the spacing, go all the way down. Let me go ahead and zoom it in so you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so this is the lines that are going horizontal. Now, once I pass it through the machine, I come back here and I put it in a 90-degree angle, and that gives me vertical lines, as you can see here. The last step that I do is select spiral, and it gives me this one. I feel that by doing these 3 steps, it gives me enough debossing on it, enough engraving on it, that I can go ahead and add the ink. And I'll also add the ink, and all of this stuff is from Impress Art that I purchased on Joann's, all with coupons, okay? And it just, by doing these 3 steps, I feel that it gave me enough space so that when I passed the ink through, it saturated it like perfectly. Now, if you like it just with the horizontal lines or just with the vertical lines, you can do whatever you want. Just play around with it until you find it a way that you like it. And I'm sure there's so many tutorials out there. And that is one of the things that's why I chose this little saying, I can and I will, because I was so afraid of using this machine. I mean, I use my Cameo all the time, but I was so afraid. And my husband said, come on, we're doing it. Let's get the machine out and let's, make it happen. And I bought the Chomas tip for engraving, again, like more than 2 years ago. So I'm so glad that I was able to use it. And I haven't stopped using it. I've been playing around with it like for over a week, and I just love it. Okay, the next thing you do is you go to the send button, and you are first going to select to cut this shape, right? What I did is I just placed a big cardstock on top. I covered the whole mat. And the reason why I did that is because when it's engraving and taking this out, you don't want the metal, that is taking out to stick on your mat. And you want to make sure that you cover it. So let's select your image first because we're going to be removing that. We're going to put no cut on this. No cut and no cut. And it's only going to leave the highlighted. Now, if this is not highlighted, make sure you select it and press cut. On here, you want to make sure that you put your cardstock and you select your ratchet blade. Once you do that, go ahead and sand it. Once it's sanded, it's cut out. Remove the cardstock, just this shape right here, because all of this is going to be covered. So remove this and place your metal blank on it. Once you do that, you're going to select your shape and you're going to put no cut. And then you're going to select what you're going to be etching. In this case is this little figure of I can and I will. And you're going to put cut. Do not put cut edge because it's going to be kind of weird. But like I said, if you want to play around with it, go ahead and play around with it. But I just went ahead and put cut. And in this case, we're going to select the metal, I believe. So let's scroll down until we find it. Okay, metal sheet for etching right there. And we're going to put, this is for etch, so just make sure you change all of this stuff. It's going to give you the etching tool. Of course, it's not going to give you the CHOMAS tip. That is fine. And I have seen tutorials where people use the etching tool, but I have the CHOMAS tool, and I do use the etching tool for paper. So, might as well use what I have. Once you do that, you go ahead and send it. This design that I did is really fast. I did some bookmarks for a friend, and it took a little bit longer. But for this one, it's really fast. And like I said, once you click send and do the etching, I went back and moved it from horizontal to vertical by selecting a 90-degree angle and hit send again. And then came back and select this roll. Now, like I said, you guys can play around with it. If you guys like the vertical lines, that's fine. I did it this way because I needed to etch as much space as possible in order for the ink to really stick into the spaces. I hope this helps you guys. If you guys have any questions, just make sure to comment and I'll try to help you as much. Like I said, it took me years in order for me to play around with the Curio, and that is one of the reasons why I chose this little quote, is because I can and I will, meaning that I can do it and I'm going to do it. So good luck to you all. Like I said, if you have any questions, just comment below and I'll try to help you as much as I can. Thank you guys so much for getting interested in this little project. Bye bye.